Good evening. You are watching News Mongolia on MNB World. I'm Jugdur Gambold. And for our top stories. The Ministry of Finance informs that Mongolia avoided the big risk of declaring default. Annually, around 900 military officers from Mongolia serve in United Nations peacekeeping operations. A92 gasoline exempted from custom duties until 2024. For the news, stay tuned. Due to the current account deficit caused by external and internal economic conditions, Mongolia's forex reserves had shrunk to $2.6 billion at the end of 2022. Hitting the lowest level since 2017, however, Mongolia's foreign exchange reserves rose to $3.4 billion at the end of 2022. The related authority, notably the Ministry of Finance, informs that the country was able to avoid a big risk of having to default on a bond repayment.
Mongolia must make sovereign bond payments in the coming 3 years. We have interviewed the Minister of Finance on the measures being taken.
The most serious issue that our country was facing is the $13 billion foreign loans to be repaid back over the period 2023 through 2026. The biggest part of it was supposed to be repaid in 2023, notably including the $6 billion for Eurobond, Samurai Bond, Gürege Bond, and Art Bank's SWOP repayment. On January 2nd, a $650 million debt settlement for 5 years at 8.65% interest was arranged by the Century 2 project. For the near future, we have managed to settle and prevent the risk of default. $450 million will be paid from the state budget this year. In 2024, the Horta bond repayment was supposed to be paid, but a debt settlement has been arranged. The Nomad bond repayment is due in 2025.
Fitch projects gross domestic products growth for Mongolia will accelerate to 6.3% in 2023 and 6.8% in 2024, respectively, as headwinds from trade disruptions in the war in Ukraine wane. According to Fitch, Mongolia has the potential to harness its generous natural resource endowments as the underground phase of the Oyo Tatra mine becomes operational, and improved cross-border infrastructure connectivity unleashes more economic benefits for the country. Fitch projects that the public debt ratio of Mongolia will decline. It forecasts the fiscal deficit to narrow to 3.7% of GDP in 2023 from 4.4% in 2022 on stronger revenue collection as the economic recovery gains traction. Fitch projects that Mongolia's general government debt will remain high at about 65.3% of GDP by the end of 2022. Currently, Mongolia's sovereign rating stands at B category.
Customs duty on A92 gasoline will be waived until 2024. Notably, according to Resolution number 35 of the Government of Mongolia, dated January 25, 2023, on setting the custom duty rate for certain petroleum products. The customs duty rate for imported 92-octane gasoline will be set at the zero rate from January 30, 2023 to January 1, 2024. Approximately 21,000 military officers performed the duties in United Nations peacekeeping operations from Mongolia. In our next report, we talked to Girilbadr Narmandag as their representation. Mongolian peacekeepers are actively taking part in United Nations peacekeeping operations, contributing to the international peace and security.
Mongolia's armed forces have been participating in the UN peacekeeping and international military operations for more than 20 years. As for Girilt Batrach, he participated as a leader in peacekeeping operations 5 times. Since he was a child, he dreamed of working in the military and defending his country and the people of the world. His dream has come true.
For the first time in 2006, I was serving as a department commander in the first duty military team. Later, I served as the chief operations officer in the peacekeeping operations in southern Sudan. I became more responsible and was involved in organizing activities. While on duty at a military base in Iraq, there have been attacks targeting the base with explosives. And when we went to another operation, there was the danger of flooding, which had not been happened in the last 30 years. The road in that area was very congested, and at this time I took over the role of air patrol. Also, while on duty during the COVID-19 pandemic, we maintained our infection control regime in a confined environment. For me, this moment of bringing personnel who are serving with me back to their homeland is the most beautiful as well as responsible and proud moment. And when we came back home to our country, we feel very proud that our military base has successfully fulfilled its mission and we have been able to raise the name of Mongolia.
He managed and organized many people, making sure they were moving in the right direction, and is very diligent, so we successfully completed our duties and returned home safely. In the Republic of South Sudan, more than 20,000 people live in and around UN camps for internationally displaced people. At the same time, refugees say that when the Mongolian army is here, they have peace and that the Mongolian army is very strong and disciplined.
I have heard from many people that the local children have a lot of faith in the Mongolian military personnel. Those words bring me warmth and I feel proud.
He participated in the United Nations peacekeeping and international military operations 5 times in a row, saving lives as well as property of locals. With tireless courage, he stood shoulder to shoulder with international peacekeepers and repeatedly led his personnel. He is a soldier who has been contributing to the world peace.
Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by the Central Bank of Mongolia. The Indian Technology and Economic Cooperation Program in Solar Energy Technologies for 28 Mongolian rural women was organized from November 10, 2022 to January 13, 2023 in India. The participants have learned to construct, install, design and maintain solar panels, batteries and off-grid technologies.
Mongolia has significant potential for solar energy due to its high levels of solar radiation and large land area. However, Mongolia's solar energy sector is still in the infant stages of development. The installed capacity of solar power in Mongolia is relatively low, but the government has taken steps to promote the growth of this industry, including through the implementation of policies and programs aimed at increasing access to renewable energy. There are also plans to build large-scale solar power plants in Mongolia to meet the growing demand for electricity in the country. In addition, off-grid solar systems are being promoted as a way to provide rural communities with access to clean and reliable energy. Therefore, in order to increase the participation of women in solar energy technology in local settlements, a total of 28 women were enrolled in a scholarship program by the Indian Embassy in Mongolia and the Development Partnership Assistance Division of the Ministry of External Affairs.
At this first press meet of 2023 in the Embassy of India, the purpose is to introduce to you the 28, I will use the acronym WISE Mongolians, and the WISE stand for Women in Solar Energy. So I would like to introduce to you the 28 WISE women who have just returned from India after attending a solar energy training program. As you know, Mongolia is blessed to have an average of 302 days of sunshine in a year. And given Mongolia's sparsely populated status, this embassy, in line with promoting the green initiative of One Sun, One World, One Grid solar energy, and to mitigate climate change challenges and to promote decarbonization by optimal usage of renewable solar energy, organized a 3 months specially curated intensive training program for these wise 28 Mongolians in India in the National Institute of Solar Energy. A majority of these 28 wise Mongolians have been drawn from the 11 different provinces representing the rural Mongolia and the countryside Mongolia.
A training program aimed at empowering women has been conducted in Mongolia, benefiting 28 women from rural regions across 10 provinces. The program focuses on teaching the women how to build, install, design and maintain solar panels, batteries and off-grid technologies so that their communities can benefit from clean and sustainable energy sources. The program features hand-on activities, diagrams and manuals to aid in learning, and 4 of the women in the group are English-speaking, which can help to effectively convey the group's knowledge to others. Also, the ambassador, Mr. Singh, informed us about the oil refinery being built in Mongolia. The construction of the infrastructure of the oil refinery continues at 80%. If the construction is carried out according to plan, it will be put into operation in 2025. Mongolia and India are working together to invest the project of this oil refinery. It is believed that not only will about 10,000 jobs be created directly or indirectly in Mongolia, but that there also will be an industrial revolution. The financing and construction of the oil refinery project will be commissioned in 2025 is ongoing. The 4th stage of the oil refinery tender for this project was supposed to start in January, but it has been somewhat delayed and the tender company will be selected by March. It is also expected that the facilities, industrial power plant and industrial construction will start to warm up at the same time as per the initial plan. Also, Mr. Singh has expressed his confidence that the Mongolian government will complete the implementation of the oil pipeline construction project before the factory is completed. By having an oil refinery, Mongolia's GDP can be increased by about 10% and stop the flow of foreign exchange. On the other hand, there is a forecast of a definitive positive impact on the local economy.
Now here comes foreign news, partnered with international news agencies. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen ahead of what officials described as a summit on Friday. The last such a summit was held in Kyiv in October 2021, a few months before the war started on February 24, 2022.
Von der Leyen praised wartime Ukraine's brilliant application for European Union membership, though Brussels officials note that Ukraine joining the 27-nation bloc is still a long way off.
Russia must be held accountable in courts for its odious crimes. Prosecutors from Ukraine and the European Union are already working together. We are collecting evidence, and as a first step, I'm pleased to announce that an international center for the prosecution of the crime of aggression in Ukraine will be set up in The Hague. This center will coordinate the collection of evidence. It will be embedded in the joint investigation team, which is supported by our agency, Eurojust.
European Union assistance for Ukraine, she said, has reached 50 billion euros since the start of Russia's war. She said the European Union plans to adopt a 10th package of sanctions against Russia before February 24th. Von der Leyen, on her 4th visit to Kyiv since Russia's invasion, added that she was comforted by Ukraine's anti-corruption drive. Stamping out endemic corruption is a key condition for joining the European Union.
Now here comes regular features on sports. Former Real Madrid star Gareth Bale made his official golf debut on Thursday at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am in California.
Gareth Bale has dazzled onlookers on his PGA Tour debut, hitting a stunning chip on the first day of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am in the United States. The famous event, which takes place at the famous California Links, sees a number of celebrity players compete alongside some of the world's top golfers. The 33-year-old admitted he was nervous when interviewed shortly before his opening tee shot, but managed to settle himself by making par on the opening hole. However, he found himself in a spot of bother on hole 2, with his third shot coming on the cart path near the pin. But as he did so often in his footballing career, Bale produced a moment of pure magic, hitting a delightful chip that landed him just yards away for a putt on the green. The former Wales captain recently made a similarly strong impression on world number 3 John Ram, who spent some time playing with Bale before the event and was taken aback by a Welshman's talent. Bale, who announced his retirement from football after leading Wales into the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, is one of the 156 amateurs participating in the competition, which runs until February 5th. Other celebrities present include actor Bill Murray, Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers, actor Jason Bateman, rapper Macklemore, and Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen. The same number of professionals are also competing, with US Open champion Matt Fitzpatrick and world number 5 Patrick Cantlay among the big names.
Daring skiers and snowboarders picked up from where they left off in Bacura Barret in Spain last week and put on other exhibitions in second event of season's Freeride World Tour.
The Ordina Arcalis resort in Andorra was the venue on Thursday as Canada's Justin Defour-Lapointe produced an effortless run in the women's ski competition, earning 74 points and top spot on the podium ahead of Molly Almanino of the United States and Elizabeth Gerritsen of Switzerland. The former Olympic and World Moguls champion bagged her first victory in only her second freeride event. Now second in the overall standings, Defour-Lapointe will try to consolidate her place at the next event in Kicking Horse, British Columbia. If she manages to stay in the top 5, she is likely to participate in the final schedule for March in Freiburg, Austria and Verbier, Switzerland. Less than 3 points separated the top 3 riders in the men's ski category, and everyone was full of freestyle tricks. Austria's Valentin Rainer emerged victorious ahead of Ross Tester of the United States and Maxime Chablot of Switzerland. Among the snowboarders, Ludovic Goulidiet earned his first victory in FWT ahead of Jonathan Penfield of the United States and Mexico's Liam Rivera. And Katie Anderson matched Defour-Lapointe's efforts with the second win for Canada ahead of the FWT 22 world champion Tiffany Pertin and her French compatriot Estelle Rissolio.
Now let's take a look at the weather forecast for the world's major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll see you next time with more news and updates. Have a great day ahead.